Alright fellas, just doing a little bit more campaign run here. We are doing our pre-campaign for the Aserai here, and fights are fast and frequent in this. This guy says chasing Yuha, so evidently this guy wants a piece of us. We are in the mercenary stage of this campaign. This is just a little bit of practice here for a larger campaign later this year. And what I mean by larger is more detail to it, probably start to finish, whatever finish means. We're going to show a lot more perks. I'm going to talk a lot more about campaign strategy, a lot more about what is this guy doing? Chasing Yuha, and he's running the other way. Let's fight here, dude. What are we doing? You know, I want more daylight. I have no idea what this guy's doing. You guys ever seen this kind of behavior? It says chasing Yuha, and he's down at the river like he's waiting for his van to pull up so he can live there the rest of his life. Is this a warrior or a hippie? He's following me around like a dog, and then he's like, I don't know, man. What do you want? Fuck you. Let's fight. That's what I want. Gasukan, this weird-looking Khuzait character here. We've got a pretty decent army, you know, of 129 troops. It's not stacked by any means, but we've got probably 30 or 40 tier 5 troops at this stage. We have an archer-heavy army, and I've come to believe that in Bannerlord, if you don't have a heavy an army that's at least heavy in horse archers or archers, your army is sub-average, right? And what I mean by that, it's not optimally designed. The bottom line is that unless you're playing with mods, archers are a dominant feature of Bannerlord. They're highly versatile. And you want to be using them. Now I got to configure some of these. We've got a couple more companions here. I'm not probably going to introduce every single one of these guys because it doesn't fucking matter. This is not going to be a 4-week campaign. Look at this crazy map. This is a map I've never played before on. This is kind of one of the fun parts here of playing Aserai, particularly the southeast of the map, right? I don't know very much about down by Khuzait territory. I've certainly had battles in this area, but there's so many different maps in the game that you're going to run into new ones like this. And this one is quite foreign, so I'm sort of trying to find my legs underneath me here in this battle. Now it's horse archers. So obviously we want to enact some of the similar tactics you'll see me enact against horse archers. There'll be a shield wall towards the front. We'll drag a cavalry unit behind them. I've got one in the front, a weaker cav unit holding a shield wall. We will try to trap these guys, bring in heavy cav here behind them, pound them with arrows, limit their movement. That's numero uno. And hopefully that'll lead to a rout. Now, I don't know what I just hit right there. It seems like I ran into... I don't know what I hit. It's like I ran to a rock on the beach there. It stopped my movement. We're going to chase these guys off here, throw a few javelins into their back. Now look at where the rest of their troops are, right? We're not engaging over there. They're across a river. I've got no reason to engage over there, right? As long as their horse archers are coming to us, and this is a frequent occurrence with the AI, especially when they attack you, their horse archers will act very strange, right? They will attack and sort of circle you while the rest of their forces hang back. Again, I'm not going to show 100 battles like this, but I want to give you an idea of kind of how I would fight the Khuzait playing as the Aserai. So I have a cav unit following me around, and we're essentially just trying to line up really good line of sight on these horse archers. The rest of their forces remain sort of across that little river or gulf or whatever it is. And we're going to continue to spar with them. Javelins and I was going to say Khuzait and the Aserai really are kingdoms that are similar in a lot of ways, right? They have a lot of horse ranged units. The Khan's Guard and the Vanguard Ferris are definitely two of the top 3 or 4 units in the game. I would definitely prefer them to like it. What am I running into here? I guess it's the edge of the map. I can't move. Well, that's too bad. It's a beautiful map, but obviously it's not fleshed out, so to speak. I almost feel like I'm playing somebody's modded map. But you can see what we're doing here. It's a little bit of a peekaboo ridge. We've got a shield wall in front of them, and then we're just doing various different things here to try to slow down their heavy horse archers. Because once you slow down heavy horse archers, they become dead horse archers. Granted, their melee skills are pretty good, but we're not going to fight them in melee very much, right? We're going to let our archers work here. They're doing a pretty good job strafing our units, but the rest of their forces are not helping them, and so these guys are just going to be fodder. We're still working on our javelin skill here. That's right. Don't move at all, dude. You just took a javelin in the spine. Just stand there. I have always wanted a more advanced multiplayer version of Bannerlord, and what I mean by advanced, I see the guys running around fighting, you know, 6-on-6 with the swords and stuff like that. And I've seen some of the larger PvE battles, but it's like 400 guys against 400 guys. There's not a lot of organization. You're in charge of one guy, right? And so you have all the problems that you have with discipline of real war, except you got just guys sitting at their computer desk, right? None of these guys are disciplined. They didn't go through military drills or training. And what you get is a really kind of messy, fangled, messed up version of war, right? It's definitely nothing like actual war. And the coordination is pretty poor, I've found. And so we're sort of left fighting the computer here, right? Which is what most of you guys are doing, right? So I continue to sort of play my campaign and play out various different strategies. The tactics on the channel are, of course, designed to help you with single player. Now, fortunately, Bannerlord is an interesting enough game, and the AI is functional, at least, that a single player game can still be really fun. Their infantry is starting to move, it looks like. And this may not be people's favorite type of battle, right? We are essentially just skirmishing at range. We're holding this ridge. Ostensibly, this guy attacked us. Well, now their infantry is starting to come around the ridge there, so we might have a real battle coming up. But this is how it happens a lot of times with Khuzait and the Aserai, right? There's going to be a lot of battles that it's like jockeying back and forth. It feels like a skirmish, and you're just sort of flinging darts and arrows at each other. That's just how it is, right? I've played out about 12 episodes now of Horse Archer Tactics. Those episodes are coming down the road. Probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I will finish out the Horse Archer Tactics series, and it got pretty insane. I don't want to give you too many spoilers, but it's the most powerful kingdom I've ever seen once you get a high-level horse archer army and you learn how to use them. It took me a little while, but once I sort of honed it in, it became pretty overwhelming. All right, so the enemy's coming up with infantry here, so we're going to flank him with cavalry. We've got our infantry holding the edge of the ridge, one in a square and the other one charging, right? We do that a lot for distractionary value. It still works with 120 troops. Now we can drag our cav right through, I like to say right the fuck through their archers, right? These guys get interrupted. You see them sprinting all over the place. Meanwhile, their horse archers and infantry divisions are being destroyed, right? We're essentially just trying to scramble their archers while our archers work, right? Their cavalry is also bound up here at the edge of the map where you can't move for some reason. I literally can't move on the edge of that map for some reason. And our archers rather are clear. And if I was going to say, the game boils down to the best strategy in a nutshell is keep your archers protected and fuck up the enemy's archers. Because if their archers are getting knocked around by cavalry, interrupted, or like a peekaboo ridge getting shot over the top of the ridge, and yours are unmaligned, unattacked, then you're going to win. Now we get shot off for a horse here. Again, I'm still adjusting to playing this highly delicate level 15 character, Yuha. At the same time, I'm still playing out a deathmatch campaign where my character is level 50 in maxed armor, fighting the whole map. And so I am a bit clumsy, and I am a bit reckless with my character here. But fortunately, there's usually little consequences to this, right? I do have the perk that gives you, 30% health at the end of a successful battle. So even though he's knocked unconscious, right, he just dusts himself off. Pulls the arrow out of his fucking groin and spleen, evidently never suffers infection, and lives happily ever after. So we're just going to finish this episode off. I will be using the RTS mode, the RTS mod mode, I don't know, both, quite frequently in my campaign and in this practice trial run. You'll see me all of a sudden running 1,000 miles an hour, try to take out this Lord bitch. Down you go, Gusukan. Maybe that's why he didn't want to attack, because he knew he'd get fucking shot and killed. We'll drag him behind our horses for a little bit here and then see if they'll still ransom him. But I want to speed things up, right? I don't want you guys just sitting around, so we will do this, especially when there's 2-3 guys at the end of battle. Everybody knows it's a formality, so we will just speed through things. And fortunately, it's just a quick button, and I can speed through these episodes. What this is going to save me is a lot of fancy editing later on. I will still clean up stuff and remove little nuances like me going and selling some food and buying some horses and shit like that. We're going to try to keep it interesting while still showing you guys a great amount of detail of the early game campaign. Now, I still think I'm in the early game campaign at this stage. I'm in the mercenary stage. We're still whoring out to the Aserai here. I'm not sure if I'm going to form my own kingdom in this practice run or how far I'll get. It'll largely depend on how interested you guys are and how much time I have. I'm a full-time firefighter. I'm a full-time husband. So I have only so much time for Bannerlord. As you guys can see, it still amounts to a large amount of time. Unfortunately, that's because I can play and narrate on duty. All right, so let's see here. In my brain, I'm like, these guys really don't give a shit about all the upgrades here as I sort of explore the Aserai foot troops. So at this stage, I'm going to keep talking, but this is the kind of stage here where I normally edit. And then the next time you see me running around will be the next interesting moment or battle that's looming. We get some decent gear here. It's astonishing, actually, what gear I have at this stage. I don't remember being level 15, being decked out already with this much money, but obviously I didn't have the skill set the first three times I tried a campaign. Aserai traveling to Odrysa castle to besiege. Cool, this will be interesting. So a large force of the Aserais heading north. We're going to recruit some troops here. We're already overflowing. Are already overfilled with troops. This seems to be an issue actually for me. We've been so successful. Oh shit. This is a nice looking, ain't that some nice looking drip there? We got some money, so we ran down to our local fancy clothing store here and we're loading up on some nice looking armor. I'm half focused on drip and half focused on performance here. I guess considering how often this guy's dying, I should be focused on nicer armor more, but sometimes I can't help it. In the campaign, I'll definitely be making a lot more practical decisions. Let's see what this Aserai force does. Let's see if any Khuzait forces come to attack. They're already stopped. Running from Huranag party. That probably means they're being attacked already. So as before, if you didn't see the previous episode, it looks like we're going to have to ride in here to the rescue because presumably if they're running, that means that they're outnumbered, right there. The enemy AI runs when they don't figure the outcome is going to be good. And since they're running and then they got caught, of course, because the horse archers often have a lot of cavalry, they got outmaneuvered and pinned here on the bridge. So we're going to recruit a bunch of troops here and we're going to have another significant battle. I'm going to be joining this. I don't want to fight at night. I actually don't care if the odds are more difficult in this battle by just kind of letting some time pass here. I will be fighting at night when necessity dictates it. But for tactics and sort of showing you how I'm going to play a lot of this campaign, we got more units coming in. I'm going to fight with some daylight in most situations. Now look at this shit. We're still favored, even though well, I guess with my force joining, now we outnumber the Khuzait. This is probably a weak Khuzait force, which is fine. We'll show you some of these battles where the enemy's weak. And right away here, my brain is just trained to go uphill. I don't know, I'm going to switch my use to second to the fourth and fifth. This is going to be a standard thing when I join battles. I can tell you just real quick, I'm going to be changing the cav into 2 divisions, the archers to the 4th and 5th division, and then sometimes I'll make a skirmisher division with the 6th. But right away, my brain is triggered to go uphill here. The enemy and the allied forces are going to clash down in the valley with our archer-heavy army. And a couple of cav walls with javelins. We're very happy to go way up the side of this stony moon-like platform here, or plateau, climb up, get some elevation, and then from the safety of our moonscape up here, rain down some arrows and sort of snipe the enemy at range, right? With so many archers, one of the major advantages of archers is not only can you dictate when action happens by just pounding an enemy that's static, but you can set up sort of a defensive position as you know it's very likely you're going to be able to make the enemy attack you. Right, they're not going to have to come uphill. The reason that's important, of course, is that units move very slowly uphill. So their infantry moving up this steep hill is going to be shot over the top of their shield into their helmet, right between the eyes, hitting them left and right. Of course, their cavalry coming up the hill comes very slowly, right? You saw how slowly I crawled up that hill. The infantry marches even slower. Their arrows that are going uphill lose momentum because of gravity as these guys try to trudge up to get to us. The benefits are many. There's even more beyond that. One of them that I didn't even that a lot of people don't think about and I didn't even mention is that when you're moving in combat, you tell units to charge. That movement speed affects their damage, right? You can actually see it. It's right there actually in the lower left corner. you know, relative movement speed, 8.43 meters per second. Then that makes sense, right? It's physics. If you're swinging a baseball bat from a moving car, everybody knows that that mailbox that bat hits gets blown up. But if you're standing still, maybe you only dent the mailbox, right? That speed of your vehicle, or in this case a horse, or running around, has a great effect on the amount of physics and damage that blow causes. So now we have the enemy in a checkmate. They're totally fucked here. They're pinned in this valley. A really smart AI opponent might try to go across that river or something like that to adjust, because their current position is fatal. Now, when I look at the power bar, we just wipe out a lord and gain a level. Man, this game is feeling easy after a couple of very hard fought battles and the deathmatch campaign against 7, 8, 10,000 fucking enemies. Fighting 100 hapless Khuzait is just like child's play all of a sudden. But you can see the enemy here is just fucked, right? They're coming uphill. We're just going to pound them with arrows and force them to attack. Now, our ally is here as well, right? They're kind of mixed in with our troops. I kind of remember, here they are, they're to our right. I kind of remember your ally being a slightly different color on the battlefield, but I don't see any color in this little playthrough. I'm not sure if that's because I'm a mercenary. I don't get to see that or something like that, but the death spam is heavily in our favor. And this battle is already over. So with that said, apart from significant movements, I've got more time to talk about some of the other components of the campaign. I'm not going to show every single element of the campaign. I'm not going to try to bore you guys to death. I will also not show things over and over again. Even if we have an interesting siege defense, I might show it once, or if there's a bigger one, I might show it a second time. But anybody who's hoping for me showing, I don't know, 500 hours of a campaign, I'm sorry to disappoint you fellas. I don't want to narrate that entire time. A lot of these I narrate even if I don't upload. Good horse. This guy's got some hops. He's not even badly injured by that jump. And we can cut down these insolent, pathetic Khuzait. But I want to provide content that's exhilarating and interesting to you fellas. And of course, if it's the same thing every other episode, it's not going to be. This is another reason I chose the Aserai, right? I don't know these maps. I've never fought a battle on this battlefield before. And that's going to make for some really interesting tactical battles. And it's instructional for guys who are playing these battles or on these maps for the first time, wondering how the fuck they beat this annoying ass Khuzait. I'm going to try to keep the volume a little bit lower. I'm still working on mics. I've got my little list here of things to talk about when it's kind of dull moments or slow moments. I'm going to be testing 2 or 3 mics in the upcoming month, and that's partly so that the campaign has a good, consistent sound. I do get complaints about some of the mics I use. Ironically, my most expensive mic is a headset. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's a fancy, high quality mic attached to a headset. And people consistently are like, oh man, your mic quality dropped, man. Did you get fired or something? You a homeless guy? And it's like, no, actually the mic you guys like the most seems to be the $30 one that I got at Walmart. So I'm going to be testing some fancier mics. The benefit of like an Amazon is I can literally buy a couple mics and just return them. Whatever one you guys don't like, I'll just return it. This lord gets mowed down, right? All I was doing there is occupying him. We'll kill this gal too. This battle is a formality. At this stage, you can see what I'm doing. I'm actually going to start flanking the enemy on their right side because we're going to roll troops up through them. If they don't attack, oh shit, this is even better. They're attacking, so these guys are going to be coming straight on their blind side here. We're going to bring our infantry on the side. We're dragging cavalry. I've got our infantry in a shield wall here because against Khuzait, they're firing so many different arrows that we're just going to be able to bring infantry and cav right over this ridge and just carve through these archers. The enemy AI is actually, for once, they're doing a good job. In fact, this battle, it's almost like they've been working in cahoots with me for once. And our infantry arrives with our cavalry. Our archers are up there literally untouched. And the enemy is getting completely pulverized in this battle. The AI is helping there. They've got infantry sort of occupying the enemy. This battle is over, so back to the mics. So I will be testing 2 or 3, 4 mics, and I very much appreciate your feedback. What I'll probably do is episodes kind of like this. I will say this is on mic A, or I might even just tell you the mic type. I'll be like, hey, this is on, the Geno Spritz. I'm just making up a name. This is on the mic, the Panasonic mic or whatever. this whole episode. Let me know what you guys think. And at the end, I'll probably be like, hey, which mic did you guys like? Please mention in the comments. And I will probably just go with the majority, right? I'm just having us all just gang rape this poor gal. This is gang rape medieval style. This lord, this very tough lord, just fighting all my ghetto cav, and she got butchered. Because, you know, I want you guys to get an enjoyment factor out of it. A lot of guys said some of my content would be next level, would be, you know, really high end if I had a mic. So, you know, we're acquiescing a little bit here, right? I'm not gonna. There's a guy who said recently, you know, your channel would be awesome if you didn't fucking swear. Of course, he didn't swear when he said that, and I was like, fuck off, fuck you. I'm gonna swear as much as I want. No, of course I didn't say that. I said, yeah, I appreciate that. You know, I understand that some guys don't like profanity. I understand some guys, whether it's religious or your upbringing, and I applaud that. But this is just who I am. And who I am has always been who I've been on the channel. It's been nice. Apart from when every once in a while I do a little Cartman. We do some Cartman from South Park, or we do this to me too much deeper. You know, we'll do some impersonations or something like that. A little Milton from Office Space, or Cartman fucking telling, "Shut the fuck up, get over there in the corner." You know, we'll do some impersonations, but the profanity is going to stay. It's just who I am. It comes out naturally. I'm not like adding more profanity. It just comes from a career in the military and the fire service. So this is who I am, and I want you guys to have sort of the authentic experience here. Evidently, this gal thinks she can run away, so we're going to try to run her down here. And hopefully I can attach a couple more battles to this episode. The response so far from you guys has been overwhelmingly positive on a new campaign, and I presume it's because it you know, you can relate to it, right? You're in a campaign where you're running around as a mercenary, you're fighting fucking these annoying Khuzait forces, buzzing you with arrows, and you're hoping to glean some kind of value or entertainment from these episodes. So that's what I'm here for, right? I'm here for you to glean away. I'm here for you guys to soak up some profanity, maybe learn a tactic or two that you haven't before. You'll definitely learn some words you've never heard before, because I'm a big reader. Got a lot of historical reading in my knowledge base here. So we'll continue to explore the map, and we'll see what we find. And ransom some of these lords here. At this stage, it's surprising how much money we have. Like, I don't remember having this much money. Maybe it's because I'm a mercenary. I know I'm making enormous amounts of money because we're having battles very frequently, obviously with success. We're getting in big battles like every third day. Not all the time. We're not even all the way healed, and we're already in a big battle, and we're still able to win. Now, obviously, this emphasizes how powerful tactics are, right? I've shown many battles and many episodes on the channel where you literally fight 2 or 3 very difficult battles in a row, and if your tactics are superior, you just crush the enemy. Good. We raided this village here. We get a little EXP, some renown and shit like that. I don't remember all these different dynamics, renown and stuff like that. I know I need that for clan tiers, and I know I need eventually influence to form an army and give people a fief and stuff like that. But a lot of this stuff I'm going to have to sort of relearn. I'm actually watching a couple guys' channels about early game experiences just so that look at this shit. These villagers had a legendary and a masterwork equipment. It's always nice when you just butcher villagers and they have like some artifact, incredible bow you can pick up. But you know, we're still learning some of this process. I've said before, I'm not sure you guys want to actually watch me run through an early game campaign, me staggering through some of the stuff. Tournaments, I may show a few tournaments, especially if there's a ton of lords. We got a Khuzait army gathering near Odrysa Castle. We're ready to fight near Odrysa Castle. It's twice our size, but we like a challenge here. And they're not attacking. They just sit there. The AI is acting really weird in the campaign so far. I'm not sure if it's because I'm a mercenary. Clearly we're enemies because they're in that sort of pinkish red color. And they got another army coming towards them. But I'm not sure you guys want to watch me stagger through an early game campaign. So your feedback and the likes, right? Hit that like button. That's a direct way to tell me you guys are appreciating it. Of course, you can always just leave comments to say how much you appreciate. All that stuff is good. It also, of course, draws more people to the channel. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is a tall order, but fuck it. What they don't have is a lot of cavalry. They have a lot of horse archers. Yeah, stop there, stranger. Come get some. That's what we say here, right? With our best Duke Nukem voice. Come get some. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. We've got a horse archer and archer heavy army here, so this is going to be a bitch. However, this water, I was hoping it would be on a map like this. I recently, well, it wasn't that recently, but I fought a 300 battle here that I recently posted to the channel in this area, and I'll mention that if I can remember it, just the delayed nature of some of these episodes. But this gives us an outside chance of winning this. Now, ordinarily, you just run, right? I don't give a fuck, though. This is a practice campaign. We got captured once early on, and I was running around like a beggar and paid a ransom and shit like that. I'm definitely going to try some audacious battles like this where we're outnumbered 3-1. And ordinarily this would be a no-go, right? Automatic hard no. The current saying seems to be the hard no. But we're going to give this a shot. We're going to see if we have some ridges to play with here. Little peekaboo ridge. And then, of course, the best way to kill horse archers is to slow or stop them. Well, nothing slows and stops a horse archer like fucking 4 feet deep marsh. Right? Look how slow I'm moving. And I think there's some deeper parts too. So we're actually gonna, I think we'll split our archers. I think I'll put one division of cav across the bay there, because what I want is their archers, their horse archers, to get crossfire between those two, right? In other words, getting shot from both sides. They'll have to choose sort of one of those divisions to attack because the enemy doesn't split. We're protected over here by the 3rd Cavalry. Over here we have our stronger cav, the 2nd Cav. Now we are at the back of the map, but that's just, that wasn't so much intentional as it just put us at the back of the map to start. So the 4th Archers have a little bit of protection from this hill. Over the edge of that hill, I don't know if you can see that slope. They'll be hard to shoot, especially with a bunch of heavy cav in front of them. I've got this 2nd Cav division. Let's get these guys tucked in so they're not easy to shoot. I've got that 1st Infantry Division over there. I actually don't have a 6th Division for this episode just because I have so few troops. Let's fire a few javelins into their face here, right? It's always a good, successful strategy. One shot a few of these ignorant horse archers that just pay me no attention. Don't pay me any attention at all. Just let me fire javelins into your ranks. Now I'm going to drag our heavy cav right through their units. The reason I'm doing this is to push them off our archers, right? We got in some heavy blows there. We got a little death spam with our javelin throwers, and now we'll retreat these guys, right? It's a very temporary attack. We kill a sword sister. We kill an outrider. Even at level 16 or something, this guy is fucking raping people. All right, so the cav line right there on the other side, you can see the 3rd is protecting that cav line beautifully. Now what I'm going to do is intentionally bait the enemy with infantry in this marsh. I want them attacking them. I want them shooting at them with horse archers. We're going to put them in a shield wall, and eventually I think I'll square these guys. Right now they're in a shield wall because most of the enemy attacks are coming from the front. They also have infantry moving up. Now the Khuzait are different. They do not have any javelin throwers, right? So it's a very different fight than if you were fighting Britannia. You'd be getting pounded with javelins right here. Their infantry is helpless. It's just coming up slowly. I guess they have, oh shit, what do they have? That throwing spear? I think it's a single-use throwing spear. It's kind of worthless. All right, so their infantry and cavalry is haplessly pounding on our infantry square. We're going to keep moving it. This is a tried and tested tactic, right? We're outnumbered 3-1 here in the infantry, but these guys holding the line, and look at the weak-ass enemy units that are attacking it. I see a few dark hands in there, but there's also an awful lot of nomads and tier 3 infantry and stuff like that. These guys are going to melt. Our archers are pounding everything in sight. The death spam is necessarily green. It's still going to be a challenge because they do have quite a bit of heavy cav. I didn't think they had quite this many. I must have looked at the wrong number. They do have lancers and whatnot for cutting our archers down. But look at how slowly these poor fucks are moving, right? They're just standing there and it says "kill me" written on their forehead. My upgraded gear is preventing me from being one shot with the chest, a javelin chest or a spear to the chest. Our archers are deep in the water here, but that's fine, right? They're shooting. The enemy is the one that's fucked here. Their archers are way back and not really in range, and our archers are pounding the enemy at point blank range. I've got cavalry just basically distracting here on this left side. This left side is problematic. This is where the majority of their horse archers are, and so they're strafing these archers pretty bad. In fact, I got to be careful. I got to hold my shield up more often in here. But as long as they're not shooting me, right, and my health is good shape, I'm going to keep cutting these guys down and interrupts them. They know horse archers don't like that shit. Now this infantry division, now that they're charging, I think that'll destroy the rest of the enemy infantry. They're cutting through them. I see fucking palace guards mowing their units down. This Dark Hand here, he's the smartest guy on the battlefield. He's trying to leave, but he didn't go fast enough. He's a dead man. Alright, so what do I have to deal with? There are archers, which are still right at the edge of the ridge there, and these horse archers, right? This archer division over here is kind of fucked. What I can do is I can pull them a little closer to the rest of our units, and this 5th Corps behind me can support. I'm also getting low on ammo at this stage. These are all the fun parts of these tight battles, right? This is still a very tight battle, even though we've given them a beating. They've got lancers and shit still running through here. I see Khan's guards in there. They have tough horse archers left, and these guys, once they start swinging their glaives like that with their helmet fucking horse tails flying all over the place, it's pretty intimidating. They do major damage. These Khan's guards, of course, are wicked. They still have lords. I mean, that should have killed him. 42 right to the head. I just slashed the fuck out of his head. I don't know how these people aren't... Well, I can tell you how they're not dying. I have like 100 and something weapon skill, right? Zuvan would have executed all of those guys with those hits. But we're struggling along here. Now, their archers are shooting, but it's just at a long range. And long-range shots just don't do a lot of damage. So we're starting to slowly turn the tide here. Now, I can move my infantry up here just to distract and sort of occupy the enemy. But mostly what we're doing here is just war of attrition. Now, I am going to run out of ammo. That's a problem. We're probably going to have to move archers up there. See that ridge? I think we're going to have to use that like a peekaboo ridge strategy without ammo. And I'll show you that in a second, basically what it exists of. It's charging with archers against the enemy archers. It's a highly difficult process, but hopefully we outnumber them, and hopefully we have a handful of these archers that survive with shields. So cut down this bitch. Kill you. Shit, and get killed trying to kill that guy. So this ridge right here, I'm going to be able to bring our archers underneath that, and I think that will be pretty effective at dealing with their archers. It's very close though. This battle is just like a couple of the other battles we've had. It's going to be down to the last 20 or 30 guys. If we exercise tactics here, if we're smart about it, if I don't get one shot by one of these guys angrily chasing after me, then we've got a chance to win. Some parts of this, yeah, I'd love to speed up, but I can't, right? There's too much at stake, and I'm just going to have to play it through. There's a little bit of suspense. There's a nice soundtrack from the movie, what the fuck's it called? Sicario. Oh, fuck. Yeah, those guys are mean. All right, well, fortunately, we've got our other companion here. He has no ammo, which is not good. Oh, shit, I finger fucked. Click the character, then press E. Okay, I think we're back. I'm still getting used to the RTS mod, and what happens is I'll finger fuck, you know, the wrong button, and the next thing you know, you're in like a weird menu. I might try to disable some of those for the campaign. Again, a lot of this is just practice. All right, so I need to tighten up our units here and deal with these horse archers. Then we're going to compact our units here and prepare for these archers. These archers are now going to attack us. They're going to come over this ridge at us. We have a very limited amount of time here because they don't have good line of sight. And so they're going to acquire line of sight. In fact, that number is getting lower, 75, 74. Even though I'm moving towards them, you can be assured they're moving towards us. Kill this guy. There we go. Okay, we got, it looks like 1 or 2 more horse archers. I've got a handful of infantry here, and a handful of those guys have shields, which is good because our archers obviously don't have shields. And they got this Khan's guard coming in as a problem. I wish there was some ammo here. He's just killing master archers left and right. All right, so the archers got up there faster than I thought. It's time to press. Shield wall towards the front. Let's charge these bitches. We're gonna suffer losses here. We gotta close here though. This is vital. Spread out the archers. Charge these bitches. And let's see if we can close fast enough. The infantry's down to 6, 7, 8 guys. Ooh, fuck. I forgot that you can get hit so hard it pushes you back. Charge, boys. This is gonna be down to the wire. We're going to have to cut our way through these guys. Fortunately, I do have a shield. I have absolutely no health. 0. It was just empty. Fortunately, they're backpedaling. Shit. Oh, shit. Damn it, this guy has no athleticism. All right, so now we're in charge of a master archer. I think we got this. This is going to be close. They're still backpedaling. They're trying to kite. Oh, shit. They still got Khan's guards. Come on, boys. Charge. It's just down to the wire. This feels like one of those PvP battles I see where there's like guys fighting for their lives, where it's nobody has a shield, everybody has 10% health, and it's really just down to the last couple hit or two. Those two just routed. We got it. The infantry's over here butchering them. That's why they're routing. Cut her down. Now we just got to deal with these fucking horse archers. Where are these motherfuckers? Kill that guy. That's a Khan's guard. All right, so we know what horse archers get slowed down by, right? Water. So what do we do here? We position in the water. Follow me. We're going to form into a tight knot in the square, in the depths of the water here. Got this ominous guy coming up with his lethal pole arm, and now we're just trying to survive this shit, right? This one more guy. Come on over. Hurry over there, Frank. You're always too slow, staring at the fucking sunset. This guy should be fucked, though. We've got like 10 infantry here. This battle should be over. Try to get a horse. I got a horse over there. It's going to take me forever to run to that, though. Okay. So a little RTS mode here at the end. Sped it up. And victory, right? Man, this is a great victory for us here. This is outnumbered 3-1 against horse archers. And we made it work. Lots and lots of skills. Nobody died. I'm sure we're going to get a massive amount of renown and all that other good shit. Our morale goes through the roof, right? Our troops are fucking stoked. Then we all get to fuck the prom queen. God, we got to do this again. We got to send troops to capture these lords. I guess that's because people are routing. But ultimately, we're going to be able to capture all these lords. Even more money pours in. Our mercenary contract is going to yield a gigantic amount of gold. So we're just going to be literally rolling in cash here. And another successful battle as we roll along in our little pre-campaign here. Again, for those tuning in late, this is not the actual campaign I'm starting next year. Not next year. That's definitely a faux pas. It will be this year. This is just a little practice run. You guys don't see all the behind-the-scenes stuff, but just change the music a little bit. Sort of reset some of the soundtracks that are on there. And we continue here. We're gaining steward skills. Look at that shit. Daily gold change. That must be... Look at our mercenary contract. We're just making a gigantic amount of money. So we're getting rich. We're getting rich quick, right? The old mercenary thing, just like Schindler's List, right? The only thing that's better for business, well, I can't remember what his quote is, but war is definitely good for business. If you're in the business of war, all those angry fucking people in the 1700s in England, when Marlborough and all the fucking prime ministers and all those people were making huge amounts of money with the war against the French, this is very much like that, right? We are making money from war. In fact, the last thing we want to see is peace with the Khuzait here. I'll be very disappointed if there's peace with the Khuzait. Of course, I've been disappointed with our ally too. Our ally has acted really stupid. He's just been charging in against battles he can't win, and then when we get in the actual battle, it's a suicide fest, right? Our ally just totally gets destroyed. We've already saved the Sultan 2 or 3 times. Like, we should be like his prime minister. He should be abandoning whatever fucking person was in charge before and putting us in charge. But of course, at this stage, we're only a mercenary. Speaking of that, I'm probably going to be a vassal. But before I do that, I may go be a vassal for another kingdom, right? I think you're allowed to do that. You can just be or not a vassal, another mercenary. I think I might merc up with the Southern Empire, or maybe the Khuzait or something like that, just to get a little different feel for this, a little different feel for some of these episodes, and for me, a little bit more practice, sort of understanding and relearning some of the game mechanics, right? You have to remember, I've been playing a deathmatch campaign now for, oh fuck, it's been like a year and a half, and I really haven't had any early game exposure at all, other than like the looter experience. Been fucking around with some looters and the Peasants Revolt. We've been mostly tromping around with a huge, or at least a very strong army, if not huge. Cause a little bit of trouble here in Khuzait land. We're watching this Aserai force. They're very likely to be, in fact, who wants to bet that they get fucking attacked by a huge Khuzait force? This is one of the weaknesses of the AI. They will set out with an inferior force, siege a castle, and then as soon as the enemy has a large enough force to defeat them, they just get completely crushed. We may have to rescue them. This here, I'm just showing you this because I want to show you what to deal with villages. If you auto-resolve these, a lot of times you lose a bunch of troops. And if you don't mind grinding it occasionally, it's actually really nice for farming a little EXP, right? We're gonna level up a bunch of archers. I'm gonna get a little bit more EXP, javelin EXP, and we'll fight this battle with no losses, right? Even though there's like, what is it, 33 villagers. I'll be surprised if we have any losses. I won't do this a lot. Like I said, of course, I'm gonna skip most of this stuff for the actual, for the main campaign. I may show an occasional one or something like that. But most of these, of course, you guys also know these are literally put here by the developers for you to farm, right? This is for new players to sort of learn the process, and so as you know, as accordingly, I will use the RTS mod sort of intermittently. Let me know what you think about the use of the RTS mod like that, right? I recognize that it's kind of jarring. All of a sudden, my horse is running 150 miles an hour. If you guys are watching it and you don't enjoy the use of the RTS mod, this is a perfect forum to tell me that kind of stuff. I have to be essentially a politician. I have to go with the majority here. If there's like 80% of people love when I speed up episodes, and the 20%, you know, they're diehards, they want me to play the game in Iron Man on the slowest mode. Well, you know how I'm gonna do this, right? This is just simply democracy. It's not a perfect system, but it's the best one we got. All right, wrapped it up here. We did suffer a death, but it's an Imperial recruit. Don't care about that guy. In fact, he kept back-mouthing, back-talking me every time I told him what formation to go into, so he can die. We will leave his corpse in this village, and no one will ever remember him again. Onward we go to glory and renown. Look at more legendary shit from these villagers. A legendary step bow. We'll take it, right? We can put those on companions down the road. We recruit some more of their troops here. Oh, I love that. We attack their village. All their villages fight us, and then we're like, hey, oh, by the way, now all your men are killed, we'd also love to recruit some troops. And they're like, sure, no problem. It's 30 dinars. Who's selling us that? Like the wives that we've just massacred their husbands? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's fun. Let's see if this guy embarrasses me here. Usually I get smoked with these fast-moving motherfuckers. I probably could have taken my time more just to counter, to sort of corner those guys a little bit better. Watch this now. We suffered, what, 1 loss? Look at this shit. 8 losses when we attacked this village. We had fucking 5 deaths. So yeah. Sometimes it's worth it to you in the early game. Sometimes it'll be worth it for you to not auto-resolve. If you can just crush the enemy, if you can work on your real-time tactics a little bit, you will probably have infinitely better results than the auto-resolve. Where the auto-resolve is really beneficial for a new player is siege defense, right? You're basically unbeatable in siege defense with the auto-resolve. I think it needs to be massively altered, but it is what it is. So again, here we raid their village, we kill all their men, and then we're like, oh, by the way, are you willing to do some business? We'd like to buy a couple sheep, and we'd also like to see if there's any recruits left. Is there anybody left alive that we can, we'll take their sheep from them? And oh shit, here we go. So it does look like there's a Khuzait force. It's smaller than the Aserai force, but more might be coming. We'll see here. We might have another big battle that's looming. I might be getting trapped here. Fuck. Can I go up here? Okay, good. Because this Khuzait force is eyeballing us as a tasty morsel. Traveling to Garandin. Oh, that's because we raided their village. We killed all our villagers, so they're going to chase us across the map here. I get it. I mean, I would do that too. Okay, it looks like, you know what? We're going to have to get back there now. I bet they're going to fucking attack that force. Odrysa castle's being defended. So that was quick. That was pretty sneaky of them. In fact, they chased us off. And these, of course, these Aserai are getting butchered every single time I'm not around to help them. The Aserai lose. Now they're getting, first it was Valandia, then it was Western Empire, then it was Valandia again. Now the Khuzait are whipping their ass. What would they do without mercenaries? These guys would just lose every battle. So we're going to give this a shot here. We're going to do some last second upgrades. I'm not going to go too deep into the perks. I will occasionally have an episode where I spend like 15 minutes talking about perks. I'll leave a bunch of companions so that they have a ton of perks that need to be upgraded. And what I'll do is I'll spend 10 or 15 minutes on my philosophy on them. Right? I'm not going to be able to cover the entire board of perks, but maybe it'll be 30 or 40 perks, and I'll spend like a half a minute or 15 seconds talking about why I like certain perks. I'm not a guru on it. Again, if you want guru stuff where it's like heavily tested, Strat Gaming Guides, right? Again, I don't pay them an ounce. This is fucked. We're outnumbered 2-1. And our troops are the bulk of the forces here. We're banged up. We're injured. What does this Khuzait force have here? Okay, lots of horse archers. Yeah. Maybe it's on the same battlefield where there's water. Maybe we can pull off the same victory, but this is with guys banged up. This is going to be very hard. This is actually suicidal. You would just leave here. If you were a mercenary normally and the enemy was outnumbered 4-1, 5-1, whoops, take the RTS mod off, you would just leave, particularly because the AI, our allied AI here, is going to be, it looks like they're charging, is going to be I was going to say unreliable. What they're going to be is suicidal here. They're outnumbered 5-1, and these guys are just charging like, yeah, let's do this shit. Oh, we're all killed. That is probably a pretty easy prediction of what's going to occur here. So we're going to have to carry and shoulder the bulk of the weight as usual, and we're doing so with a banged up force. I'm not sure this is advisable. We may be able to flee. You know, we entered as a third party, so if I retreat early enough, we may be able to get out of this battle. I may try that. But I also don't care. This is a practice campaign. It actually wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we just started over. What I mean by that is got captured. You guys are getting captured, probably playing your campaigns. It wouldn't hurt for you to see. I don't know how much I'll show you, but the rebuilding process, right, where you go back to hiring recruits and leveling up guys and stuff like that. It is on my list. I haven't actually made like a list, but it's sort of on the unwritten list of number one thing to do in Bannerlord campaigns is don't lose, right? If you're consistently losing, god damn it, I keep butchering this command. I apologize for that. If you're consistently losing, you're probably fucked, right? Because you're having to rebuy mercenary armies. You're having to fucking restock your army. You're getting guys captured and paying ransom. It's time that's lost. And of course, the enemy's the one getting all the rewards. They're getting, if you don't know, that's how it works. The enemy gets renown. They get better experience level. Their troops upgrade, yours don't. They capture you. They literally get your equipment. In my campaign, I've seen enemy lords and enemy units running around with some of the custom battles from our campaign where we got captured, lost those custom battles, and believe it or not, the enemy will use those on occasion. You don't want that happening, of course. So win your battles. And again here, we're now trying to win this battle, and our enemy, or our ally, I should call him an enemy, our ally just liquidated themselves. Full on charge. They're already all dead, and the enemy's barely injured here because, of course, they got destroyed. So it's up to us. We got 100 guys against almost 350 Khuzait here. They're boring in on us. Now, I don't have water, too. This map has water on it, but our location here does not have water. So a little bit of kiting here. We're very desperate at this stage. I'm going to have to fight like a fucking maniac. I've got our infantry line sort of holding that line with cav support, but we're probably going to have to pull them back and form a square. I do have quite a few Jav Cav here that are doing some good work, throwing their javelins. I've got two decent decent archer divisions firing away. Our infantry's being mangled by theirs. They just have so many more infantry than us. These horse archers just trampled our archers here. Fuck you guys. Pound them over the head as they trample our archers. These guys are attacking our infantry square here. Let's charge with the 6th here. Maybe we can get a really hard press on the enemy behind them. God, look at how weak they are. They're like nomads. See, our army wasn't even upgraded. We're charging with guys with plaid fucking hoods. This is not a good option. And they got butchered. Those nomads just got wiped out quickly. All right, well, we don't quit. I'm like a lot of alpha males, firefighters, alpha males. We've got a tenacious fucking spirit, right? We're just like competitive on like a fucking violent level, quite literally violent. You should see me play dodgeball. It's an absolute fucking horror fest for the enemy. I've got a cannon of an arm. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", 220, and I fire the ball. I'm bald, and the enemy just wilts. It's like worse than a Bannerlord battle. They're routing. They're at the back of the fucking dodgeball ring, just hoping they don't get pounded by an 80-mile-an-hour dodgeball. A lot of them are afraid to throw the ball at me. And this might sound like an exaggeration, but I don't know. I just enter a different state when I play dodgeball. I am a maniac. I just play like a wild animal. I'm actually an asshole, too. I get so competitive that I'm like violent and unsportsmanlike. Not breaking the rules, but I just don't care if the enemy gets crushed. All right, enough of the dodgeball fucking stories. Let's try to fucking pull this battle out here. Let's get violently angry. Let's fucking cut these Khuzait down here. We got a shot. Our archers are over the ridge here, but man, they have a lot of horse archers strafing us. And unlike that, I don't know if it'll be the same episode, probably. Unlike that previous battle, though, against them where we mauled a 3 times force, we have no water here. So their horse archers are running around at 60 miles an hour, running over our units, causing charge damage. And most importantly, it's hard to shoot them, right? We're wasting a lot of arrows where the guys are simply missing. And there's only so many guys I can cut down as a level 16 or whatever the fuck with terrible javelin skills. I don't know if this guy will develop into a powerhouse over the course of this practice campaign. Probably not. He's decent, right? I can cut down some tribal warriors, but we're fucking losing our... At least I got revenge for him. Fuck you guys. Yeah, I just looked up at the power bar. When it's like that, and this is not a spoiler, you don't win, right? That means there's like 70 enemy and we have like 5 guys. So this is, this is futile effort here at the end of this. We have 4 against 74. We could try to retreat here, but we're probably going to get captured. It was stupid to attack there, but it was mostly, I mean, I knew what I was doing. I basically, let's go. No, we're captured. I knew what was going to happen. I just figured, fuck it, it's a practice run. Let's see if we can win an unbelievable battle. And as the old cliche goes, you don't win unbelievable battles until you try them, right? I've had some battles in my 300 series that were unbelievable because we tried them, right? So we're going to do that here. Fortunately, there's no real life consequences. I still sit in my chair and sip my drink. In fact, get a little refresher here. We still got our gold. For some reason, we've got bags of gold all over the place here. I'm going to charge these guys myself. I've got this option. I'm not just going to surrender. Fuck you. I'm going to kill at least somebody. I'd love to kill a lord. Fuck you guys. Let's leave a few welts before they capture us, right? We'll kill some of their archers. I'd love to kill a lord. It'd be amazing if it was a fatal blow. But, you know, we're definitely going to sort of push the envelope in this practice series. In the campaign, I'll play a little bit more pragmatically, a little bit more realistically, but just by nature, right? I'm going to try some really audacious... People ask me what that means. Audacious is like foolishly brave. Like what are you thinking kind of things, because those are the battles that you remember forever, right? I've had some battles before where I remembered them forever because they were unbelievably difficult, 200 against 1500, you know, stuff like that. And when you win, it's exhilarating. So sometimes you're going to get captured, right? Sometimes Kanujan or whatever the fuck gets captured, your campaign gets interrupted. Fortunately, right, it's not like real life where you would be in a dungeon for 20 years or whatever. And evidently you've got bags of gold just laying around. Look, I've got 400K just sitting there in my... maybe they have Bitcoin back then, right? The original Bitcoin. Look, and already they're willing to take 1/10 of my wealth for freedom. So we'll accept that. Thanks. We'll be defeating you guys next week, stupid fucks. And we take our freedom here. Now, sometimes you can get chased down again. I got a little army to retreat to, so we're going to be fine, I think. Fuck off. My big brother's here. In fact, we'll join this army here. But what's the next step, right? I'm only going to show you so many skirmishes and stuff like that because that would be like showing you a full campaign. I think the next time you see me might be with a mercenary with a different kingdom. I'm actually considering the Khuzait, right? We'll do it. If you can't beat them, join them. Not because seriously they're winning, but because it'll be interesting to sort of merc for Khuzait. Obviously, that's something I've never done before in a Bannerlord campaign. It'll give you guys a little different window into the game. Whoops. And it'll be sort of interesting, right? It'll be some battles against Sturgia with Khuzait. It'll be different parts of the map that I've never played in before. So we'll see. I may also form my own kingdom, right? It says eligible to create a kingdom. We're definitely going to create a kingdom at some point with this, and it's going to be recklessly early. I can assure you of that, right? We're going to go down a blaze of glory. Obviously, this little practice campaign, I'm not going to play out to the very end. You can expect tactics. You can expect some fucking profanity. You guys can expect the occasional anecdotal history story or other cool little thing that I've learned over the 50 years of life. And hopefully I continue to entertain you fellas, right? Educate and entertain. That's what I'm here for, right? Still going to keep swearing. I apologize to those fuckers who don't want me to swear. Get over it. I apologize, you fuckers, but that's just who I am. So with all that said, I appreciate you fellas. I'm going to wrap this episode up. I appreciate you fellas. Please like and subscribe and all that stuff. I'm supposed to say these things according to a bunch of websites. Anyways, you guys get the idea. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time.